Many people's concerns. I don't know if anybody's on the air or not, but this is Craig. Um, we're live right now. I just want to let you guys know. I know it's nobody probably out there. If you are out there, I would like to hear from you. You know, anybody out there? Because I know this is a new station. It was like a sudden thing. I didn't really advertise it much, but I just want the people to know out there that I'm available to you to listen to, and I'm available to you to help you in any given situation with any problem that you might have that you might want to talk about. I know for a fact that things are different now in our life. You know, from the time our grandmothers and grandmothers was out there, this world has turned into a fast-paced world. And I know that we don't have the time that we used to have to give to our children. And I know that we have a lot of temperance out there because of the way things are. Some people feel like, you know, people taking things from us. Some people feel like we just, you know, just been taken advantage of as Black people. But I just want to add to some things that I've seen on the social media channel. I went on the social media a couple of times and I see how actually Blacks are attacking Blacks. And we are the only race that really basically does this. I mean, you know, and then I see another segment where Blacks attacking women, you know. I thought we moved beyond that, but I guess we didn't. I guess we did, some of us, and some of us didn't. Let me put it that way. And I'm not going to say everybody is in the same category. You know, we have to understand one thing, and we have to understand that things are going to take place in our lives, and we have no control over it. But we do have control over our life itself. You know, we have to learn how to deal with our own realities. In other words, why it's just like a man when he got a woman. Why beat that woman up? You got to look at that woman tomorrow. You know, but you got guys that will beat you up, and you all bruised up, the woman. And yet this man has to look at you tomorrow, and then he's standing around after the fact saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But that don't change the situation. It's the same way when you look on social media. I'm sure that the Caucasian are looking on there also. And you see how Blacks are degrading the Black women. It's sad. You know, calling a bunch of F's, a bunch of B's, a bunch of name calling. I don't want to utilize their terms on my show because I'm not a cursor. But to utilize those words against a person is insulting. You know, it's like cyber bullying, you know, and it's not necessary because especially if you have a child by that lady or, you know, or that lady trying to help you take care of your children, you know, that you had probably from another woman. Because sometimes these women today, they give you your children in a minute. And I'm not putting this out there for all men. I'm not putting this out there for all women. I'm putting this out there for those that are doing this because we are better than that. You know, I really feel strongly about that we are better than that. And I don't feel that we should continue to let people see what they should not be seeing. You know, and I know I got a comment from one guy. He said that you got to look at both sides of the story, CJ. And they're talking about us the same way. And that's true. I see it out there. I see it out there. But, you know, two wrongs don't make a right. Somebody got to show to be the stronger person, you know, in any incident. Somebody got to show that they're stronger than the other person. And I know what you're saying makes sense, but that's only put you in attack mode. But if you reverse that and don't use the attack mode, you'd be surprised at the outcome of what you receive. You know, we seem to be the only race that does this. We seem to be the only one that goes through these channels and we think it sounds good or we think it's right. You know, I had one guy, he talked about the Bible said it. You know, the Bible say that the women ain't worth whatever. And I'm like, I'm looking for it in scripture. You know, if he's talking about it, he's probably talking about it in the Old Testament, but he's not talking about it in the New Testament because the women in the New Testament are different than the women in the Old Testament because those laws been, when you transfer from the Old Testament to the New, They got rid of the old laws. It brought grace. Grace. Jesus died. He brought grace over. Faith, grace, and belief. So that left the Old Testament behind and put you into the new world, Jesus world. And I think some people are mixing the two up, whether they live in both Bibles, but you can't live in both sides of that Bible. You have to pick and choose. If you're going to live in the side of the Old Testament, God laws, then you have to stay over there. You can't divert back to the New Testament, to the grace, because you cannot work and live in both. When Jesus died, he changed the whole realm. You have to decide what's best for you. If you're going to live in the old, then you have to move over there. You got to go by all 169 rules that God made. And you can't change it into grace. You either live by one or the other. And moving on, we worked hard to gain respect. Respect is the largest word that you can ask for in a person. Respect and honor, and your word. When it comes down to a man, it has to be in your word. Your word means everything. If a man give you a word about doing something, then his word is supposed to be bond. Nobody can change that. But moving back, because these guys' words today, they're not bond. They just tell you one thing, give you what you want to hear, and they move on, and life goes on. But let me go back to disrespect. And most men would say the same thing. If you heard somebody standing around there disrespecting your woman or disrespecting, you could do it, but nobody else can come and do it. But it's all right if you did it. But it's wrong if anybody do it. It's wrong even if you do it. You know how it feels to walk into a house and gotta feel that mold around you when you walk in. It's not power. It's foolishness. It's not power at all. It's actually foolishness. It makes you feel that unwanted sensation when you walk in the house. Like the children are scared, the woman is nervous. Nobody knows what you're gonna do next. And if you drink, they scared of you, period, because they don't know how much you have already drank. And you bring this stuff home with you. People have to realize that everything they do, if children are involved, reflects around the child. If you argue every day, it reflects around the child. If you curse at each other just to ask them to do something, it reflects around the child. A child is your recorder. A child is you. And you don't want to put this type of way of treating people on your child, because she's going to mock you sooner or later. And that's not a good way. It's like living in a house by yourself, because when she come home from school, she got to go, or he got to go in his room, shut his door, because all you hear downstairs is arguments, howling back and forth. If it's not your way, then there's no way. If it's not her way, then there's no way. How can you accomplish and move on from there? You can't accomplish nothing, because arguments don't accomplish anything. It just keeps you going through changes. You can't accomplish one thing. Listen to me, people out there. If you got a child and you know that you're arguing back and forth with your mate, whether it's a he or whether it's a she, then you need to take the child out of the equation, because you're only making it bad for that child. And then if you got a parent that's going to keep constantly threatening you that they're going to leave, then you need to take the child out of the equation, because what it's going to do is going to make the child suffer later in life. The child going to be worried about the parent, but it don't matter which one, because she cares about both. And the second thing the child going to do is start reacting. And when what reacting do, it puts her into another mental state of mind. And then she's going to be taken out on other students in school or people that surrounds her, acting out. And what she really going to take with her, what's going to be the most hurting thing of all, is every time she think about the person that left, she's going to think that she did something wrong to make them leave. She's going to take the burden for the mom, or she's going to take the burden for the dad, because she's still going to think that mom is still not happy because dad gone, or she's going to think that dad still not happy because mom gone, and she's going to think she was the cause of that problem. The daddy don't want to do nothing for me no more, or mommy don't act like I don't exist in the house no more. There's effects that goes on, and it goes on through a child's life. We have to think people before we react. And then we react accordingly, but in the best interest of the child and in the respect of the persons you're talking to. I'm not a psychologist, you know, I'm not a counselor, but I'm a good listener. If you got a problem, you need to talk to somebody before you explode, before you go off, you can call me. C. Joyner at thepeoplesconcerns.com. If you got a situation that you want to talk about, a story you want to tell that's troubling you and is in the back of your conscience, you can call me. You know, if anything you want to vent about, anything you want to just talk about, and you don't even want me to respond back and just to hear you talk, call me. You know, talk to me. You know, you either can have it broadcast, or you can either ask me, CJ, let's just leave this between you and I. That's what we do. You know, that's what we do. If it helps, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to make you feel that you got somebody that you could talk to. You may not know me personally, but when we react, you'll sooner or later get to know of me. And then you'll see the kind of person that I really am. You know, but I just feel that the children shouldn't have to suffer, because the child cannot pick their parents. You know, it's like the lottery. Whatever, when she comes out or he comes out, whatever's there, that's where they at. Whatever parents are present, that's the parents they got. I mean, that every parent is not a gold mine. You know, that's why we all different in our own unique way. Every parent don't have everything. That's why you work together, so you can build it. Relationships are made to build on. If you got the wrong product, that's why relationships are made to move on. You move on from that product and you move it to another. I don't mean to call women products or men products, but I'm just using that as a term. You move on to someone else that has the same needs and have the same wants that you have. But don't let the child suffer for you guys' wrongdoings. Because, you know, like I said, the child didn't ask you to be here. You just decided to make one. And you guys with the lottery pick that she had to look at, or he had to look at when they came out. I just want to throw some things out there at you. You know, I've been through a lot in my life too. You know, I've done a lot of different things, and you know, I raised children, and I've been through some changes. But I always acted with thought. I always acted with common sense, because I always thought before I react. Even though I be pissed off, but I still try not to use those terms on a woman. And then she in turn didn't use those terms on me, because it's how you really, and you got to understand this, you're talking about women don't respect black men. That's not true. I got respect all my life for every woman I dealt with. I never got cursed out by no woman or treated any kind of way by no woman, because I didn't do that to them. A woman responds to according to how you treat them. That's how they respond. If you nag them, if you curse at them, if you pick on them, you hit them, then they're going to respond to you in that same way. If you treat them like a woman, they're going to treat you like a man. And I don't care how mad they get, they're going to have that respect for you. And that's how it works. It don't work no different. You're going to be calling them dog names, they're going to be calling you the same thing. They're not going to tolerate you calling them, and yet you can't accept it. You know, so I know for a fact, and I'm an older man, that life is based on how you deal with it, how you respond to it, and how you carry yourself. You can't tell me nothing different, because I'm not no young buck. You can tell that to them young bucks out there. You know, if you want to be one of those kind of girls, want to go out there and want to talk that kind of yo-yo stuff, then therefore anybody in their right mind know that that's the wrong stop. I stopped at the wrong bus stop. I got to keep going. You know, because you don't want that to carry on to your children. So if they like that now, they're gonna be like that even with the children. Same thing for man. You ride a man after about 6 weeks with a man, you better go 6 weeks. You can feel this man out. And then what women should do, and I tell my daughters the same thing, you test the waters. You see how mad you can intimidate this man. You don't have to curse at him. Intimidate this man, because you want to know what's on the other side of that fuse. How far will this guy go? Then you know whether or not you want to interact with this guy or deal with this guy on a long-term basis. Because if he's a short fuse, you don't need that. That short fuse is only hidden for a little while, but that reality is going to come out sooner or later. It's going to come out. And that's when you're going to realize that you made the biggest mistake of your life. That you got somebody stalking you, watching every move you make, jealousy of what you do, watching everybody you talk to, checking your cell phone out. That's women and men. It goes both sides, I'm telling you now. Not one side, both sides. And if you get into a relationship like that there, that tells you right then and there, somebody's going to get hurt sooner or later because you're feeding into finding out things. My mother always told me, when you look for it, you're going to find it because you looked for it. But if you never looked for it, you never know it's there. So life will go on. But some people, they like to look for trouble. And even if it's not there, they try to create it. If you got that kind of relationship, it's not a relationship. It's a bomb waiting to explode, whether it's a he or whether it's a she. So basically, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you people comfortable talking to me. Whether you can call in, you can talk to me, and you feel comfortable doing so. And we won't have to hide anything from nobody. We can just talk about it. You know, everybody needs an ear. I know this for a fact because there's times you want to talk, you want to vent. There's not nobody you can turn to because all they're doing is putting your business out in the street. Everybody you tell, oh, they just blabbing. So and so this, and so that. But you can tell me. You tell CJ. And if you don't want it out there, CJ won't broadcast it. But if you want it out there, then CJ will broadcast it. You know, that's how it is. I would just tell you, like, let's get off the line here and let's go to this. You call me in an email, and I tell you where to call me on. And then you can call my other station, and then that way you won't be broadcast. You know, and that's how we would do that. You know, because I want you to feel that you can trust somebody. That you got somebody that can listen to you, whether it's a male, whether it's a female, whether it's grandma, whether it's grandpa. You know, we all need an ear. You know, sometimes the old grandma might be home, or old grandpa might be home, and nobody to talk to. The children want to come around no more because they feel like the grandparents are to the point now they don't want to be around them no more. They think the grandparents become a burden. So they think every time they come around, they got to do something. But you know, you want to talk grandparents, or you don't use a computer, call CJ at thepeoplesconcerns.com. You know, we could talk, you could pray, you can, you know, just carry on a conversation. You know, I can always, I like talking to good friends, you know, no matter what you are, Caucasian, Asian, you know, African American, American blacks, it don't matter. You know, I'm here to talk to any and everybody. You know, I'm not biased, never will be, you know, and I'm just open to, you know, your questions, your answers. I'm open to your stories. You know, I'm open to events that you want me to put out there for you. I'll do it, not a problem. You know, that's what I'm here for. It's a CJ again for the People's Concerns, because we are concerned about you. You can go to thepeoplesconcerns.com. You can leave information up there also. You know, you go back to the contact information thing, leave your information there. You know, if you want to leave a story there, you leave it there. You know, but if you want to email me, like I said, you can email me too. But you can always have a way to contact me. You know, and I'll be available to you. I'm going to try to make this show come on once a week, and if it gets better and I get some audience here, we move it up to 2-3 times a week, and we can always talk, you know, and we just see what goes on from there. But I just want you guys to know you got somebody you can talk to out here, you know, and don't be afraid and don't be ashamed to call. This is CJ again from the People's Concerns, because we are concerned about you. And I'm open for any question that you want. I'm open to talk to you about anything you want to talk about. Like I say, whether it's church, whether it's bowling, whether it's your friend next door got on your nerve, whether it's you and your old man having a debate and you need some advice. I don't give advice though, but I do. I listen to you. I let you guys honor out yourselves, you know, because sometimes advice may be different and it might cause conflict of interest inside of your household. But I will listen, you know, and I'll be there for you. Whether you want to talk about the police brutality, you know, the Republican race, you know, Hillary Clinton, it don't matter. You know, I'm here for it all. You know, you want to talk about a ball game, you know, I'm here for everything you want to talk about. And, you know, if I'm not familiar with the subject, then you familiarize me with it, and we can take it from there. But I'm a comfortable voice. I'm a comfortable person, and I'm a very friendly person, and I will listen to you. and my door is open. Anytime you want to call me, if you decide you want to call me and you don't want to talk at the same time that I'm live, then email me and I'll find another way to talk to you. But this is also a good opportunity for a person to just vent. Get that pressure off your mind. You might want to talk to me about abuse. Abuse that happened when you was a child, or abuse that happened when you was in your teens. And all your subjects are welcome here. Anything you want to talk about is welcome here. You might want to talk about the school bus driver, and things that they do, or school bus monitor might be hitting on your child. You talk about anything. I'm here for you. That's what I'm here to do. You might want to talk about your mate, or your pastor. Church is just as good. I mean, church got problems too. I mean, I've seen they have a lot of problems also. So it's not like you say anything bad about a church. I mean, church got a lot of stuff going on. Even with the tithes, people don't want to pay them. So because they say there's no such thing as tithes no more because of the Old Testament. So there's a lot of debate with that too. So it's a whole lot of things that we can talk about. The fast-paced world. We can talk about that. I'm just trying to let you know, feel comfortable. Give me a call. Give me a shout. Hit me on the email sometimes. Just to, just let me know you're around, and we'll always be available to you. All right. We're going to close the show because we feel that we accomplished a lot tonight, because now at least you can hear my voice. You know that I exist. And we are the People's Concerns. We come on every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, actually till 8. I was having a lot of difficulties tonight just trying to get this thing going, but 7 to 8. And I guess it's going on a little 9 now. Oh yeah, it's going like 8:25. But that's still good. If he was on the air, I'd talk to you for hours. It don't really matter. If somebody wants to listen, I'll let them listen. And just give me a call. Thank you for listening. You guys have a good night. All right, bye-bye.